Hi everyone, and welcome back to Rookie to Pro, a show in which I bring you on my journey to improve as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. This week, we dove into Fiendsmith Labyrinth. So, let's dive in. Labyrinth was introduced in Tactical Masters in August of 2022. Tactical Masters being the deck building pack following the Ground Creators. Like other deck building packs, Tactical Masters contain 60 cards. Besides Labyrinth, Tactical Masters also introduced the Runic and Valence archetype. Labyrinth is a control deck focused on setting traps out of the deck and keeping control of the game by slowly outgrading your opponent. The deck has a couple versions to play, which are mostly divided into two groups. The Furniture, or IKEA build, as it's called, which plays more engine, or the Pure Trap variant, which, as the name suggests, plays more traps. For this list, I've decided to mix it with the popular Fiendsmith engine. Fiendsmith, originally introduced in the Infinite Forbidden, is a super versatile engine that is combined with lots of different archetypes. At the time of writing this, the engine is also played as a deck by itself. The Infinite Forbidden was released in July of 2024 as the third core set of the year. Besides Fiendsmith, Infinite Forbidden also introduced the White Forest and Mimikor archetype. It follows the standard core set format including 101 cards. When the Fiendsmith engine released originally, it was combined with the Snake Eye and Yubel decks of the time. As time went on, the engine evolved to its current state. The engine revolves around Fiendsmith Engraver, a level 6 light fiend monster with 1800 attack and 2400 defense. Its effect allows you to discard it to search for an archetypal spell or trap, and while it's in the graveyard you can shuffle another light fiend back into the deck to special summon it. While it's on the field, it has the effect that you can target a Fiendsmith equip card you control and a monster on the field to send them to the graveyard. Okay, so for the deck profile, I played 3 Ariana, a level 4 Dark Fiend who on summon searches for a Labyrinth card except itself. If another monster leaves the field by a normal trap, Ariana allows you to draw a card and then allows you to either summon a fiend or set a spell or trap from your hand, though you can only use one effect per turn. I then played 3 Labyrinth Chandracleer with a level 3 Dark Fiend, which can be discarded with another card to send a spell or trap from your hand or deck. If a monster leaves the field while this card is in your graveyard, once again by the normal traps, you can add it to your hand. And honestly, the same goes for our next card, Labyrinth Stovytorby, which I also played 3 of, except that it special summons itself rather than ending itself back to the hand. I played 2 Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle, a level 8 Dark Fiend who can be summoned from the hand if a Labyrinth card or normal trap is activated that turn. While you control said cards, it cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effect, and once per turn, when a normal trap is activated while this card is on the field, you can set a normal trap from your deck. This allows us to play a variety of normal traps as one-offs, which creates a toolbox-like effect. For the one-offs, I played 1 Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle, another level 8 Dark Fiend who prevents your opponent from activating monster effects in response to the activation of your normal traps, and once per turn allows you to set a normal trap from your graveyard, but that cannot be activated unless you have control a fiend monster. When a card leaves the field, you can destroy a card in your opponent's hand or on their field. We played 1 Ariana, another level 4 Dark Monster who allows you to send a normal trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon a level 4 or lower Fiend Monster from your deck, which helps in bridging to the Fiendsmith engine, and it has the same effect as Ariana when a monster leaves the field by a normal trap. We played 1 Labyrinth Coolclock, a level 1 Dark Fiend, who you can discard to then activate a normal trap that was set that turn if you control a Labyrinth monster. If a card is sent from the hand to the graveyard to activate a normal trap or Labyrinth card, while this card is in the grave, you can either add it back to your hand or special summon it. I then played 3 Big Welcome Labyrinth, a normal trap who summons a Labyrinth monster from your deck, hand or graveyard, and then returns a monster back to the hand. While Big Welcome is in the graveyard, you can banish it to return a Fiend monster you control to the hand, or if you control a level 8 or higher Fiend monster, you can target a card on your opponent controls instead, both effects being once per turn. Lastly, I played 2 Welcome Labyrinth, who summons a Labyrinth monster from the deck and resets itself when a card leaves the field by a normal trap card. For the Fiendsmith engine in the deck, we played 3 Fiendsmith Engraver, whom I will not dive deeper into as I already did that a bit earlier in the video. I played 1 Lacrima the Crimson Tears, a level 4 light Fiend monster who on summon allows you to send a Fiendsmith card to the graveyard, which is often used to send an Engraver in the first turn, but can be used to send more utility tools. I played 1 Fabled Lurdy, who's a level 1 light Fiend, who, when discarded from the hand, special summons itself, and then 2 copies of Fiendsmith Tract, which is a normal spell that lets you add a light Fiend monster and then discard it. Lastly, for the Fiendsmith engine, I played 1 Fiendsmith in Paradise, a normal trap, which is mostly used for its second effect, which is that you can banish it from the graveyard to send a Fiendsmith card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Before we go into the non-engine, I played a small Unchained engine. I played 1 Unchained Soul of Shavara, a level 6 Fire Fiend monster who can be summoned from the hand by destroying a Fiend or a sack card you control. And when it's sent to the grave, it searches for an Escaped of the Unchained, a normal trap which lets you destroy an Unchained monster and a card on the field. For the non-engine in the deck, I played 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being to deal with the more combo-heavy decks at locals. I also played 3 Infinite Impermanents to mitigate brutal starters that cannot be left unchecked to breakers later. I played 1 Bestial Makamut, a level 6 Dark Dragon type, who has an effect that triggers on summon to search for a dragon type monster in the end phase, and another bestial name in the form of Bestial Druid's Worm, another level 6 Dark Dragon, which, when sent to the graveyard, targets a special summon monster to send it to the grave. Both the bestials can be summoned from the hand by targeting a light or dark monster in the graveyard and banishing that target. This becomes a quick effect when your opponent controls a monster. For the one-offs to round up the main deck, I played 1 Black Goat Laughs, a normal trap that, when activated, allows you to declare a monster name. Neither player can special summon that monster except from the graveyard, and you can also banish this card from the grave to declare a monster name, which neither player can then activate the effects of. 1 Transaction Rollback, which can be activated on the field to target a trap on your opponent's graveyard and copy the effect, and can also be banished from your graveyard to copy the effect of a normal trap in your graveyard. And finally, 1 Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon, which can be used to Book of Moon the entire field and send problematic cards that will not get flipped face down. For the extra deck, we played 1 Unchained Lord of Yama, a Fiendlock Link 2, who searches an Unchained monster on summon, and when another monster is destroyed while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it to reborn a Fiend monster from your graveyard. 1 Unchained Soul of Rage, who in your opponent's turn can link summon using a monster your opponent controls, and when destroyed, adds back a Fiend monster from the graveyard. 1 SP Little Knight, a Dark Link 2 warrior monster, who, when summoned using an extra deck monster, can banish a card on the field or in the grave on summon, and banish a monster on the field and a monster on your field until the end phase in response to an opponent's card effect. A Mudcracker from the Underworld, a Dark Fiend Link 2, who once per turn can reborn a Fiend from the graveyard and then discard you a card, and cannot be used as link material the turn it's summoned. I played a Moon of the Closed Heaven to easier bridge between the Fiendsmith and Labyrinth engine. I played 1 Fiendsmith Sequence, a Light Fiend Link 2 monster who requires 2 monsters including a Light Fiend, and can fusion summon by shuffling materials from the deck to the graveyard, and can equip itself from the field or graveyard to a Fiendsmith monster to give it a protection against targeting effects. I played 2 copies of Fiendsmith Requiem, a Light Link 1, who requires a Light Fiend monster to make, and as a quick effect, you can tribute Requiem to summon a Fiendsmith monster from the deck. It can also equip itself to a Light non-link Fiend monster to give the equipped monster 600 attack. I played 2 Fiendsmith Desiree, a Light Fiend level 9 fusion, who requires Engraver and 2 Light Fiends, and on the field can negate the effects of face-up cards up to the link rating of link monsters equipped to itself until the end phase. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle a light fiend monster into the deck to target a card on the field and send it to the graveyard. I played one Necroquake Princess, who is not fusion summoned the usual way, but must be special summoned by sending a monster equipped with a monster card and a fiend monster card to the graveyard, and when a monster is sent from the hand to the grave to activate a card effect, it can either let you equip that monster or draw you a card. One Aerial Eater, which once again helps with bridging, requires 2 fiend monsters with the same attribute and sends a fiend monster to the grave on summon. It can also reborn itself by banishing 2 level 6 or higher fiends with the same attribute from the graveyard, minus itself. We played one Chaos Angel, which was mostly the star of the show for the deck. The Chaos Angel is a level 10 Synchro Dark Fiend who on summon can banish a card and gains additional effect based on the materials used for it. When it's made with a light monster, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and when it's made with a dark, it's unaffected by your opponent's monsters activate its effect. For the rank 6, I played a Wave King High Caesar, a Fiend-blocked water rank 6 monster who by detaching a material can negate an effect that special summons a monster. And to round out the extra deck, I played a Typhon, a dark Fiend rank 12 monster, which can be summoned by using the highest attack monster you control when your opponent special summons from the extra deck twice. While it's on the field, neither player can activate the effects of monster with 3k or more attack, and once per turn you can detach a material to return a monster from the field to the hand. For the side deck, I still played 3 Artifact Lancia, mainly for Malice. I played 3 Droll Lockbird to deal with Malice again, but also Mermail. I played 1 Red Resonator. I'm not going to be talking too much about this card, other than that I have only needed it once in the past 2 weeks. I played some additional traps. I played 1 Eradicator Virus for the mirror matches, or for something based on back row, I played a Dimensional Barrier for Ryziel and other stuff like that, and I played an Artifact Sanctum to have 1 more copy of Lancia, which can be tutored out of the deck with Lady Labyrinth. For some extra spells, I played a Harpy's Feather Duster for back row matchups, just like the Eradicator, and I played 2 Lightning Storms as a breaker for either back row mirrors or combo decks. And to round out the side deck, I played 2 Triple Tactic Trust to basically search for all these cards, and some of the normal traps in the deck as well. On the screen you will find the entire list, and in hindsight I would probably not run the Unchained engine and switch it out for something more versatility. I thought it would add a lot to the deck, but it really did not. As far as tournaments go for these 2 weeks, I played the Core Premier event, and I played a couple of Thursday night free play events. The Core Premier event did not go well. I went XN3, where I played against Centurion for the first round, which I lost a grind game that I very much just misjudged. Round 2 I played against Fire King, which honestly was not much of a match either, but I did win that one. My opponent wasn't that sure about what he was doing, and I had finally figured out how to keep some control on the deck. Round 3 I played against Malice, where my opponent played super well and I misjudged so many situations again. I simply lost. And round 4 I saw no engine against Mermail and thus lost that match as well. On the Thursday night I tested a lot against Malice, I tested a lot against Mermail, and found more reliable ways to deal with Malice. But I'm honestly still not inclined to believe that the deck was super good. I did have a lot of fun with it though, and I believe that when you put in the effort, this deck can definitely perform. But this nonetheless was a very valuable lesson for me, as I am not that great with control decks. I am however ready to put this deck away for the moment and look into something new for the next episode. If you've liked this episode and want to follow me on my journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment on the video, and let me know which deck you want to see in the next episode. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye!